So what up, y'all? So Legacy Legs here, Micah Jackson, Lady DJMJ. So I wanted to come through because everybody who do follow me or know who I am, I'm always kind of thinking pretty deep on different things, or I'm trying to make people see different avenues of your life or your situation. So this video, I want to try something different. Now it's going to be random videos, nothing major, just random. I'm just going to find videos that I liked, or it was like, oh yeah, that one was cool. I'm going to throw those videos on here. But what I want to discuss is parents. So we all come from a back of a certain history, regardless if you were adopted, you had your parents, you were just, with your single mom, or you were with your single dad, or you were lucky to actually have parents that stayed together, which is a blessing. But I've heard stories about that. That's a whole nother subject. But anyways, I want people to start healing themselves, because I feel like a lot of people blame the things that are around them from a certain period without realizing how far things go back from when you were created. And then actually knowing who your parents are. The beauty of the thing that I've been learning lately is who my parents are. So even though my mother passed away in October 2021, I'm still learning things. I still remember things she told me, and I still talk to my father, who is still alive. But right now he's currently doing a life sentence. It's actually went down to a life sentence. He should be in there, and I'm actually currently working to get him out. He's a high profile case. That's why I haven't really said a lot about it. I'm pretty busy. Anyway, so one thing I want people to try is to, even if you use another voice, or even if you use other videos, that's not you, even if you don't want it to be you. But everyone, I understand the diary where people write things down. I get the write down. But has anyone ever thought about the fact of the things that you say? So you think things, but when you hear it out loud, it's a kind of different thing to a certain extent. It's hard for me to explain to certain people, but I feel like mentally and physically you will get it if you tried it. And that's basically anything that you went through in your life. Watch you from the beginning to now. Tell your story, because you have to tell your story sometimes to yourself. And it also helps you realize where you came, how far you got, and where you're going. And so today I want to discuss my parents. My mother was a dancer. She was a good dancer. She actually was around the time of Players Club, and she was bad. My mom was really bad. Michael Jackson bad. I think that's why I got my name. And her name was Roxanne, her stage name. Now, she didn't do any pole, but she was a really good dancer. She had to know how to freestyle. And my dad, he was just kind of around the way. He danced too. Shockingly, I found out. I was like, what the heck? They even had a private show together at one point, and my mother basically couldn't get in a room because the girls got my dad locked up, and it was just a lot of chaos. I was just like, what? Y'all did private parties? I can't believe this. My parents are a different breed, and I now understand the things or the choices I make and how to control my anger better, or how to control certain situations better. Because one thing that we do sometimes slip on is we don't pay attention to the things that we are still learning, even though our mother and father might not be here, or might not be able to talk to them. If you do get a chance to understand things about them, learn that, because that is a part of you. It's genetics, and it helps you become a better person and understand why you do make certain choices and decisions. It helps you move forward, if that's the best way to say it. So they were doing their thing. My dad was, my papa was a Rolling Stone. My mama was out here, whatever. And she was the hot commodity. You can't tell her nothing, but she was bad and she deserved it. Now, things went wrong with my parents as far as, they both were fast back in the day, and cheating happens. Nonetheless, they both played games. So I learned how ruthless my mother was. Oh my God. And so then I learned how ruthless my daddy is. Oh my God. So it's like one of those things of a big learning experience that your parents could tell you why. If you would do some crazy stuff without having attitude or making choices, your parents could be the reason for it. Because I'm a person that won't put my hands on a guy. I won't do anything crazy like that. Like, I'll just walk away. I would want to leave. That's the best option for me and things like that. But if you try to keep me, I will get you back some way, form, or fashion, to where I have to hurt you the same way. Not physically. You're going to still be breathing. Nothing like that. But I'm going to make you feel the pain I felt if you hurt me like that. And now that I understand with my parents, sometimes it's genetics to where we all have a chance to grow as individuals, but it's definitely good to learn your parents. And now to go back with the story with my parents, my dad, like I said, it was in a high profile case, and he actually went on the run, which he shouldn't have, but he went on the run because he was in fear of his life. And I understand. Either way, my mother felt that, oh, he just up and left me, which would probably be my mentality. I'm not having her. I'm going to abort her. My mother was going to abort me. I was not even supposed to be here to this day. I was not supposed to be here. My grandparents, God rest their soul, they're both passed away. They were like, no, you're not going to kill her. We want her. You bring her to us and we'll raise her. And so my mom, she actually ended up doing that. And so she, in a way, she told me she didn't want to get rid of me. She said she actually thought about it. She was just mad at him. I get it. And literally, either way, he was still on the run. And so once I was born, my grandparents got married that year, and they raised me up until I was, I want to say 9, 10-ish, maybe-ish, 11-ish. I can't really give you the exact date on that, so I'm not going to lie. But my mom ended up moving to East Texas over some other mishaps. That's a whole nother story. Like, I can write a book, y'all. And my mom, meet a guy, and I was like, Grandma, I want to move with my mom. And they were like, are you sure? I know it hurt them some, but I was like, hey, I want to be with my mom, because that's usually how we go. If we're missing that love from that one parent, we'd be like, okay, I got to get it from one of them. And so I just wanted to be up under my mother. And so I moved with her, and I learned a lot about my mom. And my mom was an awesome lady. She went through a lot of stuff. She was smart. She made bad choices like we all do. I don't regret her for it, and I miss her. My dad, same thing. He done made bad choices. He done made bad decisions. He didn't make any that bad to where his life is being taken. And so I am a spawn of these two with these creative minds of the things that they do. And they're both loving people, and their get back is, oh my God, their get back is that get back. And I just be like, dang, I don't like being a person that want to get your back. I prefer to walk away. But it's always good to know your parents, because you know what triggers you. You know the things to learn about you. You know how to handle things that come your way. But I want this to be a diary starting out. So this is just a piece of the story. So I might touch back on some of these things the next time around. But I want to start something to where if people just want to express themselves, I understand, like I stated, people have diaries, people, just keep things to themselves. But hey, what if there was a way, if people agreed and DM me, I will make a account where I will literally make it to where you can send me, and I'll post random pictures with your story with a voiceover.